A lot of time people are kind of like questions every ideas that they have. But for me, it's like I just learned to let go of questioning that. So the work ideas come to me very easily. Like I don't have to like question it. Oh, is people gonna like it or people gonna do this? As long as I'm creating for myself, that's what matters. Just having fun. My name is Naderson Saint Pierre. I was born and raised in Haiti. Moved to New York City in 2022. My work is portraiture, and it's mostly abstract, cubism, surrealism. Yeah, portraits is a way I tell stories. It's the way I see myself, and it's the way that I need to see more people that looks like me in certain spaces. And it's like I'm not going to wait for somebody else to paint me or people that looks like me. I'm going to reach out to people that looks like me and try to see if I could tell this story.
What kind of story?
Black story. The way I feel like we're being portraited, let's just say the Renaissance period. I didn't like it. I didn't see myself within those paintings. And it's like, oh, why not? And how come I can't see myself the way I want to see or the way I want to see black individuals being portraited? And the way I wanted black individuals to be portraited, I didn't see that. And then so for me, it was like, oh, let me create paintings that I want to see. I don't care if people want to see them. It's just certain things that I want to see. And then so I started creating portraits of families, of loved ones, or typical things that I'm dealing with or things that we're dealing with as a group is like, oh, let me tell the stories the best way I know how to. And those are like the kind of story that I feel like I would love to tell my grandkids or my own kids or the next generation could come and be like, oh, this is what it looks like. Why can't I create those images that I wish I could have seen growing up? And then so it's up to me to create those things. As a kid, I grew up seeing art on the streets. We have like colorful cars. My father used to create like drawings for poems. On the side of those poems, he just make little flowers. And so as a kid, I grew up seeing the design. I didn't know how to read. All I know was the design. I was like, yeah, this is very cool. And then going to school, also saw a lot of artists painting on the streets. And then so it was like, yeah, that's also cool. I went to school, I started drawing on my clothes, which wasn't a good idea because my mom had to make the uniform. Not a good idea. I didn't have like a perfect childhood. I had a near-death experience when I was a kid. I almost drowned. A flood happened in Haiti. Um, my mom lost the house. And then so to see my parents living from, not just my parents, just all of us living from one house to the cousin's house, uncle house, grandpa house, still trying to find a place to stay where they didn't even go to school for 2 years because I was moving from one location to the other. And that was a struggle. And then, but also an opportunity to see the world completely different than I was before. And then moving to America, it's a whole different culture where at home, I may not have to speak Creole, and at school, I have to speak English. And my parents don't speak English that much. So it's like trying to find my identity. I had to re-educate myself about my personal history of Haitian culture to get to know who I am as an individual. But it was art was always a thing or a space I go to be free.
What was the start actually?
The start, it wasn't even a portrait. It was a landscape. It was created with my sister's makeup brush. Yeah, at that time it was like I just had this urge to create, to add colors into the work, and I didn't have money for supplies. And then I had canvas, I had paint, and then I needed brushes. So I picked up my sister's makeup brush, snuck into her room, got her makeup brush, and started creating with it. The feeling I get from it, it felt like I've been underwater for so long, and I finally get a fresh air. And then after I'm done painting, and I went back under the water, and then it's like, oh, I love that feeling. How can I have that again? And then create another piece. I want that again, and another piece, and another piece, to a point where I'm like very addicted to it. I can't stop thinking about creating. And I had like 7 paintings. I just put them in my room. I display all my work in my room, and that was a good memory. And then in 2009, I moved to America. My friend Ivna always wanted me to come to New York City, but it was like, oh, I'm not ready yet. For me, it's always about timing. So the time wasn't right for me to come to New York City, but most of my collectors are in New York City. I hesitated a lot, overthinking a lot, because it was like, oh, if I move to New York City, I don't have family here. How am I gonna make it here? How am I gonna find a place to sleep? Yeah, I used to sleep here on the J train. So it was like I had a hoodie, with a hoodie on, with my hands down. So I was like one of those people. And I read The Alchemist. It was a commission actually to paint just the story from the book. But the guy was like, you have to read the book first. That way you know exactly what you want to create. So read the book. Diego was the main character from that book. He had a dream one day that he saw his gold, like a treasure box. And then so he wanted the treasure, so he had to go through a whole journey to find the treasure. And so throughout the journey is where things got very interested. So he met a lot of people, interacted with a lot of individuals, found love in the journey. A lot of challenges come up, of course. And then when he finally found the space where the treasure was supposed to be, and then he shared a conversation with another person that also have another dream just like him, but the other person didn't pursue the dream. The other person tell him, how you a fool if you travel all over there to come here for a treasure, because I have the same dream. And then he explained his dreams, but the guy was like, I dreamed one time I found a treasure under a tree. And then Diego was like, oh, that's the same tree I was laying at when I had that dream. And then so his mission wasn't just a dream, but his mission was to find that guy at the right time to tell him exactly where the gold or the treasure was. And then so Diego had to go back home right under the tree where he was sleeping at. That's where the treasure was. I created my first painting here. I didn't even have a easel, so I was like holding my canvas on one hand and painting on the other hand. So it was like that's how it's all started right here at Washington Square Park. We're not supposed to. Otherwise, the police gonna kick you out. But I think like they're expecting every artist to create the same way. Like, that's not the artist way. So just hearing the story of him living his comfortable space to find his dream, to find his purpose, to find meanings in life. That was like very inspirational for me because I was so comfortable. I didn't want to leave anywhere. Full-time artist. I don't have to pay for rent. I have my own studio. I had my own car, so I was really comfortable. But there was no growth within the work that I was creating. I don't want to be too comfortable where growth seems scary. So for me, it's like, even if it's scary, even if I don't have the money, even if I don't know exactly what's going to happen, if I know this is a decision that's going to help me grow, either mentally, spiritually, financially, then this is the right decision for me. The thing with the park, not a lot of artists come here to create live paintings. Everybody come here selling paintings that's already finished. But for me, it's like, that's okay, but I'd rather paint something. So just lay some painting on the floor and start creating, and people get to see it being made right in front of them. I enjoyed that more than a finished painting. Like, this is no gallery, you know. Okay, this ain't no gallery. This is the park. Enjoy it. And I felt like New York City would be like the perfect place for it because a lot of my collectors, again, here in New York City, it's like, why not? So in 2022, make a conscious decision to move to the city, to move to New York City. And it was like, it was worth it. A lot of artists are here inspiring one another. That's what I needed. And it also challenged you because, again, this is New York City. You're gonna deal with a lot of things that you just weren't ready for. When I first got here, got a hotel, leave the hotel early in the morning to go to the park, Washington Square Park, to paint. I used to get like cardboard, laid on the floor, paint there, trying to sell them. And there are times where I don't sell them. But when I do sell them, there's like money for the next day in the hotel. When I don't make it, like you did say, if I sold one painting and it's not close enough to the amount that I need for the hotel, I end up sleeping in a J train and then go back out again, make enough money, and that money is for a hotel room. So I was bouncing from hotel to J train, sleeping in my studio, which they give me like a warning, like, hey, you can't do that anymore. If you do that, this is what's gonna happen. And I didn't want to risk losing the space that I create. Sleeping on a train feels like, oh, it's just another day. It's just another day for me to get by. My mom called me while I was still sleeping on the train, and then she asked me, hey, how are you? Now, on one hand, do I tell her exactly what's happening? Or do I lie and tell her, hey, ma, everything is fine? So yeah, I lied. I told her, hey, ma, everything is fine. Because I knew if I tell her the truth, her advice would have been, come home. Which at that time, this is not what I wanted to hear. Because they don't understand what it's like to be an artist. And the advice that I needed from them, it's not there. So I told them, man, everything is okay. I'm doing well. But I'm on the train. I'm in the subway, sleeping on this bench. But being homeless here, it was like an everyday thing. And then I just found trash on the street, cardboards, paint on that, and sell it in the park. It's a whole lot of things. Even being threatened, being called the N-word, because I was just minding my business. And it's like a lot of things that happen, and I feel like, oh, all those things are happening to me because the universe is trying to teach me something to see if this art thing, if this is what I really want. Because if I want it, then I will stay long enough to deal with whatever comes at me. Then it's not, then it's just not for me. You know what I mean? I looked at it that way. This is like the first place that I've heard a gunshot from. because I have heard all these stories about New York City being, and then after a while, it's like I haven't seen or I haven't heard nothing, and then moved here for the hotel, and then on my way to the hotel, it was like shot fires, like round, and it was like a lot of police was passing by, and I'm like, oh shit. And I told my friend, they was like, where you at? I was like, I'm in East New York. They were like, yeah, that's the space for that. It's like, oh shit. I had like a suitcase full of dirty clothes, and I used to go in the laundry with it, because I didn't have like bags and shit. So the laundry is like I had to do my clothes because I used to be outside in the street paintings every night. It's necessary. Someone in that space commissioned me to create a painting. It didn't happen though, but I guess it was the thoughts that count. But it's this hotel. Oh, they didn't have this. They didn't have that here. Hey yo. Oh, yeah. Is this? Y'all can't come in here. Is this still a hotel? No. Oh. It used to be a hotel, right? Used to. Okay. Yeah. So it used to be a hotel, and then they told us that it's now a shelter. But yeah, it was in 272 Williams Ave. This is like the hotel I used to stay at when I didn't have like the home. So I used to paint in the streets and then come here. It was like 160, 180 during the weekends because it's more expensive in the weekend. Sometimes the person let me stay here for like $100, and I used to pay him all singles. And he was getting mad at me for paying in singles because he wanted like he was like, yo, I need big bills. I'm like, yo, I'm painting in the streets. I don't have big bills. So there's a bank. He used to go in the bank, deposit the money, and withdraw the same money. I just deposit all in 20s just to get a space here to stay. But yeah, it's no longer a hotel. Ah, that's funny. All I had was paint brushes and supplies. That's all I needed. Um, all I needed was art supplies, was a space just to create. You know what I mean? Just all I needed was a space to create. So, and now that I have that, it's like, whoa, all that happened in a year. A lot happens in a year. A lot can happen in a month. You know, and it's like I don't know, I'm just blessed. Yo, that place turned into a shelter? Wow. Yeah, I didn't see that coming for real. The hotel I was living in when I was homeless is now a shelter. Wow. They were like, get out right now.
Oh, wow. I was like, well, this is very welcoming.
Yeah, I was like, what kind of hotel is this? It's not the hotel I remember. I mean, it makes me happy though, because like there was like a lot of homeless outside of that hotel, and then for those people to have like a space to stay, it's a beautiful thing though. Kind of like the hero and the villain story, where they both have similar background. It's either you do something about it or you let it consume you and become the evil. For me, it's like I accept everything. Either it was a threat, I accept it as part of my journey. Either it was being homeless, part of my journey. Either it was the lack of space, part of my journey. Or whatever the universe throws at me, right? I don't look at it as a way like, why me? Why not somebody else? I don't look at it that way. I look at it like, oh, it's just another living experience that I need to go through. Maybe there's a lesson at the end of it. Maybe I might not even recognize this lesson probably like 20 years from now. I look at it all as a lesson learned. It's just we here to have a human experience, and it come with full package. To others, it might be something completely different, but to me, this is what my life is like. So I was able to bring that into my art. So the kind of work I was creating before, it was political issues, but now it's more like my personal stories, people that I've interacted with, how I view the world or people around me, and then how can I bring their portraits into the art space, either in a colorful matter or whatever it is. It's just up for me to deal with it. Why do I paint? For joy, for peace, for love, for that individual can look from within, just to create that space for them to look from within themselves, to find their truth, their light, their purpose, their mission, whatever that was, whatever that is. I'm not painting for money. You know, if I was painting for money, you would see a lot of flowers around me. You know what I mean? Things that is universal, things I know everybody will love and like and buy, but I just paint what's important to me, what I'm surrounded with. I'm from Haiti. This is what I see every single day. And it's like, why not create those things in my work? And also inspiring other people, give me meanings in life that I'm on the right path. People are looking at my work, sometimes they cry, sometimes they feel complete joy. That makes me happy. That makes me feel like all the things that I've been through is worth it. Because somebody somewhere is looking for a little bit of colors to make themselves feel more at peace. And if they can find that within my work, I'll consider that as being successful. Yeah.